All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our inaugural podcast, What's Better? My name is Frank Acosta, and to my left I have...
Hi guys, my name is Andrew Barona.
And to my right...
Wesley Ward.
Oh, you said your real name.
I thought I'd try something new out here, Frank.
I love it.
Can I call you Frank?
You may.
Okay, thank you.
So, as you heard, the name of the podcast is What's Better, where we take a subject and we divide it right in the middle, and you guys have your opening arguments, your closing arguments, and everything in between. Today's episode, do you want to let them know what it is, Andrew?
Yeah, so today we're going to go Zelda, Breath of the Wild versus Skyrim, and I will be representing Breath of the Wild, Zelda.
And of course, I will be coming to a game that really doesn't need my defense, Frank. Because to be honest with you, it's a bit superfluous.
Wow.
Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
Okay, all right, I'm excited. So it's strictly Breath of the Wild and Skyrim.
Yes, not Zelda and
not franchises.
Not franchises.
But I will occasionally use the franchise as a left hook, if you will.
That's fine and dandy, but just so you know, if you open the door for the franchise, that means that Wesley has that advantage.
Skyrim is a much bigger game, so he probably needs a whole franchise.
You know
to
what?
Just go in.
Okay, boys. Before we begin,
It's like a presidential debate.
I'd like to get a handshake in, because at the end of the day, we realize.
Yeah, you guys can't see it, but we shook hands.
Yeah, we did.
You know what?
He shook my hand aggressively, actually.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He actually had his.
I hit my
Let's do
finger
that
kind
again
of
so I can
pointing
just
at
get
it.
it on video here for
Okay,
you.
so
before we begin, if we can get each other's hands.
Okay, there you go. Nice, cordial. Notice as he's hitting my laptop.
Notice I have to reach further because I'm a little shorter.
You know what? I'll start the argument, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, and this is the only time I'll try and not mention the franchise as a whole. Zelda, in general, has most likely inspired Skyrim as a whole in terms of fantasy gaming. How so? I mean, you look at the way Zelda has influenced all types of gaming and how it's pushed. Mm-hmm. The genre. It's
yeah, okay. I'll give him that, Frank. And I'll even come in with the puzzle system in Skyrim. When you're in the dungeons, there are some puzzles, and we all you associate that kind of stuff with the Legend of Zelda, of course.
Okay, so off the bat, Wes is going to give you that one, so that's going to be 1 point towards Andrew.
I didn't realize there was a point system. I take it back.
I didn't know there was a point system either. We're just going to try it out and see how it happens.
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
Right. We'll just see. We'll go back and forth with the points.
Sure.
So you're starting off your argument by saying that Zelda has influenced a lot of video games in the future as far as fantasy type games.
I mean, I would argue that Zelda in general has always pushed the envelope, especially with Breath of the Wild. We've never seen a game like this. I mean, we've had so many open world games that are kind of copy and paste. And in a way, although it is magical of a game, Skyrim, there's no comparison to what you experience in Breath of the Wild. I can pick up Breath of the Wild and just fall in love with it all over again. As in Skyrim, I just personally feel like it's a good game, great value, a great replay value.
Okay.
But man, is it...
I mean, let's just talk scope here, though, Frank.
Okay,
Breath of the Wild
let's move on to
is
Wesley
made,
now.
Obviously, Skyrim came out in 2011.
Okay.
The original version. It's been re-released since then.
Right.
But still bigger than Breath of the Wild. Just in terms of Breath of the Wild is a very large map, but 90% of it is, like, just random mountains. Like, there's nothing there.
I mean, I would argue...
There's only a couple of
quality over quantity. You know what I think is interesting, Frank?
What's that?
Is that your argument is mods, right? Like, this is a better game. This is a better game because I can mod. Right, this is a better game because it's more this, more that. What's interesting is, with Breath of the Wild, you get these nice tidbits of customization, but not so much. I mean, again, it's so delicately made where it doesn't overwhelm you. And
but it's for kids. I mean, granted, I'm not a kid, Frank. I can handle the expanse of Skyrim.
Okay.
I'm a journeyman out there. I need more stuff to do. Sometimes I need to make
so
my own firewood.
So you would say, I mean, I would say, yeah, it's for kids, but I mean, I don't know, man. Have you played Breath of the Wild?
I played it. I mean,
and how old are you?
I mean, I'm 23.
Okay, so then you're not a fucking kid. So
That's what I'm saying. And so, like, that's why Breath of the Wild left me wanting.
what I really like about Breath of the Wild is that anyone can pick it up and play.
Okay.
As opposed to Skyrim, it's I wouldn't call it a niche.
It's not niche because people buy it all the time, so it's clearly not.
Yeah, but I would say it's more accessible, and you know,
Accessible in what way?
I mean, again, it's not as I want to say as intimidating.
It's like a beer.
In a way, it's
Skyrim's
really
a fine
intimidating.
wine.
It's really intimidating thinking about. Like, have you even finished the game, Wesley?
Well, that's what I was actually about to get to, Frank.
Okay.
See, the difference is that Breath of the Wild, you finish. It's done.
Right.
You know, it's gone. Skyrim's never done, dude. You can't finish Skyrim because you can beat all the quests, sure, but you'll never finish the mods. You'll never finish the mod community. You'll always have that. So there's always something. Like I just recently, this past fall, the fall, I guess, probably about like 6 or 8 months ago, I played a mod quest on there. It was very long, almost as long as probably like one of the longer quests of one of the main quests of actually like vanilla Skyrim. And it was like blown away. I was like, I can't believe people are still releasing this kind of quality mods this late in the game's history. It's like imagine if Breath of the Wild every couple of months, just the DLCs they were doing. Imagine if that happened like every 2 months, like actually, like
Because
they
then
kept coming
there'd
out.
be no progress. There'd be no real progress with gaming because gaming has to end. Just like
Gaming doesn't have to end.
Just like I mean, to some
play-
degree, you would want an ending, right? So you can get a nice sequel or you can get a new refresh. What's awesome about Breath of the Wild is we are getting a sequel, and
Skyrim's getting a sequel. It's like one of the probably the most like anticipated games ever. Elder Scrolls 6, like people are fired up about that.
and I think you'd be fired up once you finish too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the difference is you're saying that games have to end. Like that you just play
I
a
don't
game,
necessarily
it ends.
think games
Skyrim
have to end,
is an
but
experience.
what I like
It's
about
all
it
about
is
the
it's a closed narrative, and that way it's like reading a really good book, Frank. It's amazing
But this
when you
isn't
read
a book. It's a video game. We're playing. We're interacting
Wow.
with the story. Why do we want it to end?
He shut that down.
Let me-
fast.
Think about the
do
context
like
of a book. A book has a spine and the thing. It literally has to end. And then unless you come up with a book that like miraculously, as you're reading, like let's say
just
I'm reading a
keeps
book
going.
and I'm like, you know what? I don't like that.
It's like a newsletter. It's like a newsletter. You just keep getting in the mail pages.
It's like if I'm
and
reading
pages
Game of Thrones and I'm like, you know
pages.
what? I want Ned Stark to demand trial by combat. And the book just adapts to that and it gets longer. Now that would be cool, but that's not what a book does. It's not the purpose of a book. And then I'm arguing that a video game is not meant to end. It's meant to go on.
But like
think
again,
about an arcade game. Do those end? Or do you just keep playing them and playing them and playing them and playing them?
Okay. I mean, that's a solid point.
It's kind of like the platonic form of a video game here is Skyrim. Let's just be honest.
I mean,
Rebuttal?
okay. Again, when I went into Breath of the Wild, I literally was not limited to anything. You can literally go to Ganon
After you complete the tutorial. Let's make that clear because it's like the tutorial thing is like it's like I get the Skyrim meme of the tutorial, but Breath of the Wild also is a tutorial and it is longer.
Okay, but if we're gonna go back to the tutorials in video games, if they were a lot like Breath of the Wild, everyone would be happy. Everyone would be happy.
Everyone would be happy, Frank. Everyone would be happy. I don't even know what to say.
And
about
let's
that.
because you know I'm
Everyone
right.
would be happy.
You know I'm right. What I love about Breath of the Wild, man, is that you see that mountain right there? You can climb it.
Clearly, he's
See
never
those-
played Skyrim. You can go vertical on your horse in Skyrim. You're just like,
So, could you go to the boss without this tedious level system?
I mean, the level system isn't a level system. That's the thing that you're understanding. You're growing your character. So, like, let's say, once again with Zelda. Let's say that in Zelda, you want to be an archer Link. That's in your mind. That's pretend. Your character does not reflect those choices at all. Even if you went the entire game of Breath of the Wild only fighting with a bow and arrow, the game would not reflect that at all. That's completely make-believe. In Skyrim, the leveling system is all about developing your character, creating the narrative. So it's like when I fight the final boss with a bow and arrow, and I'm super badass with it, it's because that's the character that I've created. It's not in my mind. The game is literally adapting to the choices I make every time I'm in combat. So every time you're in combat, there's a story being told. You're telling a story about your character every time you engage the enemy in combat. If I use magic, That's because I'm creating a mage, or if I'm using my one-handed, because I'm going to make a one-handed guy or a two-handed. Like, I literally create new characters, not even to be a different race, just to be a different kind of fighter. And let's not even get into the races. There's some real nice real-world applications of some of those politics, some of the drama. Nice little, just a lot of stuff in there, dude. Not really sure Zelda's ever been applicable to anything in the real world. This is kind of, which is nice because you can kind of escape from the real world.
It's escapism.
It's okay.
There is some real life politics in there, man. It's real questionable during the Nords, the old Stormcloaks.
I mean, when has politics ever been good for a video game?
Skyrim. That's the only time.
I mean, honestly,
good for
when I play video games, I go to escape, and I go to, again, this incredible, beautifully well thought out video game with crazy physics into the video
Can you
game.
have friends in Breath of the Wild?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any friends in Breath of the Wild? Can you create a friendship and relationships? Can you get married in Breath of the Wild? Or do you have a pretend relationship with Zelda that the gamer creates in their mind, but the game does not reflect? Because I'm pretty sure I got married in Skyrim. Pretty sure I had friends and companions that journeyed with me. You can have a dog. In Zelda, you can't have a dog, so they get the wolfling. But that's
I mean,
like
you have to buy the
special amiibo.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That.
I mean, as far as money grubbing is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and give them both a wash because Skyrim was re-released, but Nintendo has those amiibos. But I'll go ahead and give that one a wash.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But I mean, like in Skyrim, your character can be so different. Like not only can you be a different race, different fighting style, but who you go in the game with. Okay, for example, let's say you want to create a character for Skyrim. People will create the mods and voice act them. Like, people will voice act a modded companion character who, so now you replay Skyrim, they have unique dialogue to tell you about things. Like, it's insane, dude.
That's still pretending. That's
not pretending. It's literally there in the game talking. Like,
but
it's really
it's like
there.
You're creating your own.
That's like saying, okay, in Breath of the Wild.
I mean, you're arguing narrative. Like, you literally just went back onto what you were saying earlier. You were saying, oh, you have to pretend.
No, because it's literally in the game. Like, I'm not pretending there's a companion with me. I downloaded a mod that gives me a companion.
Yeah,
that's like saying in Breath of the Wild, you're just
messing with
something.
the story, so it subjects
How does
your
it
own personal
that just depends on
narrative that you have created for yourself,
depends
as
on the
opposed
mod
to
you
what the
download.
But that's a modification.
Modification in Skyrim, like that's what's beautiful about Skyrim though. It like the ability for Skyrim to change over time in the sense that like it never ends is a beautiful.
What I like about Zelda is that
infinitely
you
useful.
can literally, again, it's like a sandbox. You can literally just go in and do whatever you can, play however you want. With Skyrim, you're limited by leveling up. You can't.
Wait, why are you limited by leveling
You can't get
up?
better equipment until you leveled up, and you can't get unique items
In Skyrim,
until
and so you're telling me
scaled
in Legend
and
of Zelda,
leveled.
the first people you would...
dude, when I go into a video game, I just want to play. I just want to have.
Wait, tell me the time in Legend of Zelda when you first start out that you were able to get good weapons. I'm absolutely certain
I think we're talking about Breath of the Wild there, buddy.
Breath of the Wild, I fought with sticks for like the beginning. And then as the game got on and I progressed, all of a sudden it was really weird for me.
Okay,
there started to be better
are we
swords.
talking
like,
about-
as I
are
had
we
more
talking
hearts,
about-
hearts leveling up? Like I wondered, did I have to have 13 hearts to get the Master Sword? It's weird because I feel like I did have to have
but
that.
it's
So
a sense of
leveling
progress
system.
that what I love about the progress system in Breath of the Wild that as opposed to the progress system and said, let's say, I don't know, Skyrim, boring, fucking tedious. Let's be honest, guys. It's tedious. It's really, really tedious to get good.
It's called
unless
immersion.
you're modding, and that's no fun. That's no fun. Just modding, just sitting there. Being like, okay, now let me grind a couple of quests, a couple of
it's the
shitty
immersion,
side
dude.
quests that I don't want to do,
Why
so
don't
I
I
can
know
get
what-
this
why don't I wanna
sword.
do them?
And when I get this
I don't
sword, I
understand
can
why I
unlock
don't wanna
this
do the
thing.
quest.
And then after I do this thing, I can finally go here. And then after that, maybe, just maybe, I can
Wait, so
finally get the
I'm
thing that I
confused.
wanted.
In Breath of the Wild, do I not have to have a certain outfit to go to different places? That's called a leveling system.
Yeah,
it's
no.
tricking you, but it's a leveling system. Skyrim, you don't have to be a certain level. It's going to be more
Yes,
difficult.
you do.
Wait,
yes, you
explain
do.
to me.
You have to. Okay, you have to get to a certain level and do a certain quest in order to get to the final boss.
Wait, that's not true. Who told you that?
I'm reading it right
What
here.
level? Wait, they said you had to be a certain level. What level do you have to be? I'm waiting because you do not have to be. When I first played Skyrim, I didn't know how to level up. So I made it through like halfway through the game before I realized I had no perks. I was like, oh, I've been making this way more difficult on myself. There was no leveling. The leveling was like such an afterthought, I completely forgot about it. Like Breath of the Wild is like a clear leveling system. You have the hearts. You have to get the spirit orbs. It's like it's so obviously a leveling system.
But you don't have to do any of that. You can go straight to Ganon.
In Skyrim,
you can just go straight to Ganon.
If you wanted to, you could just go through the main quest and not do any side quests.
Exactly. You have to go through the main quest, which is really long and tedious as
So
is.
tell me this: in Breath of the Wild, did you go straight to Ganon? Did you take up that offer?
No.
No, he didn't. He didn't take up the offer. So it wasn't that enticing an offer. You didn't do it. I mean, it sounds like something you didn't do. Did I replay Skyrim several times so I could get the different kinds of ending depending on what I did? Yes, I did. I actually played it, like the Civil War quest being on different sides. I've done that like 8 times. The difference is I've rebeaten Skyrim like as different characters at like 6 to 8 times.
Okay.
Because it offers me something new. Whereas Breath of the Wild, I never even beat the first time.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. How much can you buy Skyrim for now?
I don't know. Probably
$30, maybe $20.
I'd probably
It's
say
not a
about maybe
platformer for
30,
Switch
40 bucks.
That Nintendo doesn't lower their value. So I don't know.
Exactly, because Nintendo understands.
And is that why it's? I'm trying to see if it sold as many copies, but it's weird, Frank, because it didn't. That's what's weird about it.
How many? I'm sorry, Frank.
And tell me, is Nintendo trying to show how profit or like how much they're worth? Or are they trying to make money? Because we both know they're just trying to make money. If they thought lowering
You know
Breath
what?
of the Wild
Let's go
would make
back.
them
Let's
more
go.
money-
Let's go to that, shall we, Frank? Shall we?
We shall.
So how much did how many copies did and it's probably gonna be a landslide. I know that, but how
Okay.
many copies did Skyrim sell?
I'm seeing.
Uh-oh.
How do numbers work?
Right
hold on.
here, 22 million.
Uh,
22.7 million.
I'm seeing
copies sold.
30 million.
What are your sources, Andrew?
Polygon.
Okay. What are your sources?
The Chad Wikipedia.
Okay.
Okay. So, 22 million. How many consoles did it come out for?
Well, I mean, I'm saying it's 30 million, just on record.
But how many consoles did it?
30
release?
million.
I would assume the PC, the Xbox, and the PlayStation.
Okay, so 3 different platforms. Correct.
And the Samsung smart refrigerator.
That's actually true. I did see that.
That's all I mean. Like, can you play Breath of the Wild on your refrigerator, dude? I mean, I don't think so.
I mean, at that point, is there any game you'd want to play on your refrigerator?
Just Skyrim, dude. That's the only game I'd want to play in my fridge.
Okay, so your argument, as I see it, you know, the forthcoming argument I see coming is that Skyrim came out on PC, Xbox, PS, and refrigerator, and
Whereas
it sold.
Nintendo Switch. I mean, I get it.
and
but
it sold 30
but here's why
million.
that argument's not going to work here, because I'm looking at the top other games. Wii Sports is on there, but obviously it came with the Wii. But Super Mario Bros. Is on here. Pokemon's on here. Wii Fit's on here.
Okay,
Mario
so
Kart's
look,
on here.
look,
Wii
look,
Sports
look.
Resort's on
Okay,
here.
so
Super Mario
it's
Bros. is
simple
on here.
math. You see this right here? 22.7 million copies.
That's for Skyrim
That's for Skyrim, and that's for all consoles, right?
across
PC,
the
blah,
consoles,
blah,
as you
blah.
said. Okay,
Right.
understood.
You look at Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
Single system exclusivity is, and let me just.
I mean,
fax-
I'm looking. I just looked up. It's definitely 30 million. I don't know why. I'm looking up right now. It says in November 2016, Howard confirmed that Skyrim had sold 30 million copies. Like, that's right there. I mean, like I see the 22.7, and
Well,
then,
let's
like,
go.
over
Let's go.
time,
No,
now it's
let's
just
go.
like-
Let's go through just that for this, because Breath of the Wild has not been out for that long. So let's go with the 5-year scale,
Okay.
right? Just to make it fair. You look at Breath of the Wild, and you see that it made and let me get my facts straight, 7.78 million worldwide copies, right? Let's do simple math.
Oh.
Times
Wait,
that,
wait, what was it? 7 point what?
7.78.
Well, 7.7 times 3 is not going to get you 30. So that's not going to help your.
No. We're not talking about 30 million. We're talking about what I just said earlier.
Okay, but I just told you.
22.7 million. That's what we had agreed on, right?
No, I remember I said on record 30 million.
No. But the thing is you're comparing time as opposed to, what do you call it? As opposed to what I'm talking about. Breath of the Wild hasn't been out for that long, so I'm giving it a fair trade by giving it a 5-year scale.
In Skyrim's first 5 years compared to Breath of the Wild's.
Breath of the Wild's. Yes.
Breath of the Wild's been out for 5 years?
No, it's been out for 2 or 3. But
Yeah,
that's
I
how
think 3.
good of the game is that it's already made that much.
I mean, I don't.
And so, just to give you a reference, let me explain. You look at 1.78 million copies sold worldwide, right? On one platform. Okay? We're going by the 5-year scale. Breath of the Wild hasn't even completed that scale. You multiply that by 3 systems, which we know it would sell that much. That equates to 23.34 million copies worldwide, outbeating Skyrim. Because your platform, Skyrim's platform, is arguably Xbox,
I mean, I think you're just
PS4,
kind of like,
PS3.
you're just kind of
No. Because this is real numbers. If
I'm not sure this
if
is real
Zelda,
numbers.
if
I'm
Zelda,
sorry, Zelda only
is,
came out on one platform. It's not
but
like
that's just to
Skyrim's
tell you how special this particular game is.
But I'm telling
is
you
that
it's
it
not,
could
though, because
it
I'm
not
saying-
only could outsell Skyrim, but it would outsell Skyrim.
But I'm telling you
Period.
right now that it
Period.
didn't, though. Like,
Period.
it could, but something being able to do something and not doing it aren't the same thing. I'm telling you that other Nintendo games have managed to.
I mean, you can say that. You can say that about being able to customize and this and that. It's like
let's
this
just
is
be
like,
honest. Okay, Skyrim is only being marketed to a certain age demographic. Zelda is being. You know who's buying Zelda?
Everyone.
Parents for their kids.
Everyone is
So
buying
that's
Zelda.
a completely.
I hate to break it to
Okay,
you.
everyone- but I'm
Everyone
just
is
telling you
buying
more
Zelda.
people bought
It's
Skyrim.
more accessible than any game that you can possibly say because
Okay, so
Skyrim is
why
what,
did
rated
Skyrim
M
sell
for
more?
mature, right?
I'm confused. Did it still sell more? I don't understand.
I mean, arguably, yes, it did
You're talking
sell
like
more.
some Donald Trump. Like, I got
hypothetically.
less, but it's somehow more. Less is not more. You didn't get as many. You didn't sell as
understand
many
what I'm trying-
copies. It
Do you
doesn't
understand
count.
what I'm doing, Frank?
I understand.
You
yes.
don't like how the numbers are working, so you're restructuring your argument. You're saying you're acting like only having on one console gets you more electoral votes. This is an electoral college. You don't get more
No,
votes
dude.
because you're on
I'm
one thing.
saying-
The internet didn't sell as many copies, so it's not as
You
accessible.
know I'm right about this, Wesley.
No,
You
it
know
doesn't
I'm
make
right
sense.
about
You're
this.
pretty much saying less people have Legend of Zelda, so it's more accessible.
No.
Think
No,
about the
I
logic.
never said
it's
that.
more
I
accessible.
never said
Less
that.
people have it. How does that make sense? More people have this game. It's
Okay,
more accessible.
okay,
Like, I
okay,
don't know what you
boys.
mean by that. That just doesn't make any sense.
Okay, you've both made very strong points and arguments.
Points.
We I don't want to say. I've been keeping points up here, but I don't want to say.
But you're like de-escalating. You're like points.
Well, we're gonna start closing this up. So if I could have both of your closing arguments, one after another. Let's not speak over each other's voices here. We're men of values, and let's show. Let's show
For the
that.
record, I just fact checked. That's 10 million copies sold. So technically 30 million. And a 5-year scale. So
Which
Okay.
we're not at yet. So
All right, Andrew.
exactly we're not.
you're assuming that it's going to
Within
sell
the
the
3
exact
years.
same amount in its 4th year as it did in its first
Okay.
year, because that's how things work. You know, over time it sell more as it's getting older.
With Nintendo and Zelda, buddy, it sure does.
Name one time that's happened.
Wind Waker.
Wind
Twilight
Waker sold
Princess.
more. The original GameCube version of Wind Waker sold more copies last year than it did the first year it came out. No, a re-release sold some more. Is Breath of the Wild getting re-released next year or something?
What
No,
I'm saying is
it's going
within
to
a couple of
depreciate
years-
in value. It's
No,
how
it will
the
not.
economy works. You're not going to get more copies sold randomly this year. It's just not going to happen.
Okay,
That
okay,
math is
okay,
faulty.
okay. Boys. Good points.
Wait,
Good
is
points.
was that the start of your closing argument?
No.
No, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I would
I was
hope
just- I
not.
was just-
No, so yeah, we're good.
Jesus, Frank.
No, because I want to make sure he has that chance. You know?
Yeah. There's gonna be no rebuttlements here or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You're just gonna give me your closing arguments. Andrew, we're gonna start off with you, with Zelda. Your closing argument, please.
Zelda has always been a genre-defying game.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Zelda has always stood the test of time. Period. You look at the original Zelda, you look at now, people are still playing the original Zelda. People are still playing the Game Boy's versions of those games. And people will continue to play Breath of the Wild long after Skyrim. Because Breath of the Wild has done something that Skyrim couldn't. It redefined the genre. Skyrim is your classic RPG action game. A very beautifully made, well-crafted game. But the system is no different from Fallout. The system is no different from any other game of that genre. But you look at Breath of the Wild and its accessibility to not only get kids, teens, but adults all playing the same game. all experiencing it in different ways. And it's funny because, yes, and you can argue this as like me as well, is that all of us three have played Breath of the Wild, and we've experienced it differently. And for Nintendo to do that, to be so strict about their properties, their intellectual properties, to be able to say, hey, we're going to try something different, that's also not only pushing the genre, but pushing video games. And the gameplay in itself, to me, far superior. I have fun when I play Breath of the Wild. I don't feel like I need to do tedious tasks. I don't feel like it's homework. Like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. Breath of the Wild, for me, has always been this great experience that I look forward to. And to me, Breath of the Wild will continue to not only break records, but influence how the future Skyrims or the future Elder Scrolls, how the future RPG action titles are going to be played now. Because, again, Nintendo is quality over quantity.
Nicely said. Very beautifully said.
I'm going to start this with a pretty simple comparison.
Okay, Wesley, go
Breath
ahead.
of the Wild is the original Superman. Christopher Reeves, colorful for the whole family. Skyrim is the Dark Knight. It's the more quality. It's attention to like at the end of the day, painting with watercolors is not the same as a very detailed sketch of like making something look like it's real life. So it's more expansive. There's a bigger map. The places in Skyrim are different by intricate details, by the way the characters behave at certain places. Legend of Zelda just throws a different color palette out. It's like, this is the blue place, this is the red place, this is the snow place. Whereas Skyrim's map is much more detailed. It's a much bigger game, and overall, it's about it tailoring to an experience. You know what I mean? Like it's immersion that we've never seen in video games before, and it's what everyone wants to do now. The reason why everyone wants to be immersive is because Skyrim. That attention to be like, let's make this game feel real, is because of Skyrim. But then Breath of the Wild loses in the sense that you're a generic character. Everyone's the same Link. The only difference is in make-believe. Whereas Skyrim, there's literally an infinite amount of ways to go into combat, and it tailors your character. In Legend of Zelda, if I stab or a goblin guy or I kill him with a bow and arrow, it makes no difference. Like, he does not become a better archer by using your bow more. Link can never use his bow and then randomly be perfect with it. Whereas in Legend of Zelda, you have to become good with the bow in order to use it correctly, just like in real life. Which, and I understand that it's a video game, but the thing is, you are your character in Skyrim. In Legend of Zelda, you're just Link. You're just kind of controlling him. But really, the story's controlling you. In Skyrim, you are the agent. And as far as pushing the envelope in the genre, it's not only defying the genre, but that no one's surpassed that. That's why we're all waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 to come out, because nothing really has matched it. You have something like Witcher, which can try, but at the end of the day, being Geralt of Rivia isn't being as cool as being the character that you make in Skyrim. And that's why Skyrim is the better game.
That is beautifully said. We've heard
Run-on sentence.
It was beautifully said on both parties. You both made both strong points, strong arguments. At the end of the day, these are all just opinions. So
for the record, we both like Breath of the Wild and Skyrim.
Yes, for the record, for the record,
Wow, that's great.
I think everyone in this room is a fan of both games.
Yeah.
Some maybe more than others on certain games.
I think that's kind of what we.
Yeah, and that's
we
kind
found out.
of that's kind of what the podcast was about. So, I think I personally thank everyone who's going to listen to this. I hope you guys had fun. I'm going to be signing off. My name's Frank Acosta.
I'm Andrew Barona.
I'm Wesley Ward.
And we'll see you guys next time.